Hi everybody, this is Eugene O'Loughlin, Lecturer in Computing at the National College of Ireland, and welcome to my series of problem-solving technique videos. In this video, number 5, we're going to take a look at SWOT analysis. So first of all, what is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is about strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. It's sometimes called situation analysis, and what we want to do is we want to be able to build on our strengths, overcome weaknesses that we have, explore opportunities and minimize threats. We want to look at this from a business environment context. A SWOT analysis is very effective for several things. It's an effective tool to define a situation currently faced by an organization. It's also an analysis tool that helps us identify internal as well as external environmental characteristics such as organizational strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. It's instrumental in the strategic planning and goal setting process. Put simply, it's a very effective tool for evaluating organizational health. So whatever organization that you have, SWOT analysis may well be of benefit to you. So first, let's take a look at strengths. We want to build on our strengths, and our strengths are the resources and capabilities available to meet our organizational strategic business goals. In other words, what is your organization good at? You could have examples such as patents, brand recognition, market share, financial reserves, and of course the location of your organization. So these could be all strengths, and you look to build upon these. Now, most organizations, not all, will have some weaknesses, and we want to try and overcome those weaknesses. And weaknesses are deficiencies within an organization that may restrict or limit meeting the organization's goals. Examples could be things listed here like gaps in capabilities, poor reputation, trouble with cash flow, high cost infrastructure, and even older legacy IT systems. These could all be things that are weaknesses that are possible to overcome. So when you identify weaknesses, projects for improvement can be identified from this, and this could help you solve some of your problems. Opportunities, we want to explore these, and opportunities can occur when changes happen in the organization's external environment. It is a chance to introduce a new product or service that can add value to your organization. And some examples we have listed here. You can get opportunities from new technologies, customer needs, a new or favourable fashion or trend, an opportunity that presents itself in the market, or partnering with other organizations. And the last of the 4 features in a SWOT analysis is the T for threats. We want to minimize the threats. And these are changes that can happen in the external environment that could become a barrier to attaining your organization's business goals. So examples here could be a competitor has emerged with a cheaper product. A regulatory agency may well have introduced some new rules that you must abide by. There could be a change in the market demand, changes in tax, and changes in things like interest rates or exchange rates. And these are external things which you have no control over, so you need to minimize these. So when should we use a SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis 4 headings give us a good framework for reviewing strategy, our position and the direction of an organization or a business proposition, and it's usually done before we embark on a change. Very powerful tool in strategic management. If you're involved in business and strategic planning, comparing competitors or evaluating them, looking at marketing efforts, developing new products, coming up with new research reports, or even building your team, quite often you would like to start off with a SWOT analysis to see, well, where are we now before we embark on a change, whether the change is something small or something more strategic. So how do we do a SWOT analysis? Well, the first thing we do is we do an environmental scan of our organization. And we do this by dividing our scan between internal analysis and external analysis. Let's take a look at the internal analysis first. These are our strengths and our weaknesses. So these are things that are internal to our organization. So when we're looking at strengths, we want to ask questions like, well, what resources are available to us? What skills and capabilities does our organization have? What specialist internal tools can you use? And what's already working well in this area? Also in the internal analysis, we want to identify weaknesses, and questions that might help you here to overcome weaknesses are, well, what are the skills and capabilities that we need but don't have? What are the resources that we don't have access to right now? What's not working well at this time? And what is the financial position, in particular if there's enough money to help overcome a particular weakness? So those two, strengths and weaknesses, are for our internal analysis. Now let's take a look at outside our company, outside our organization, and do an environmental scan with an external analysis in mind. First of all, opportunities. We want to explore opportunities that might present themselves. Questions you can ask here are things like, is there any vulnerability in our competitors? Are there new market opportunities? Is there a technological innovation that you can take advantage of? Or, if you overcome some of your weaknesses, what opportunities could become available? And finally, in our environmental scan, we want to take a look at threats, and we need to minimize these. Are there substitute products and services available that compete with your own organization? This would be a threat. Are there new laws or regulations that will have a direct effect on your business? Are your suppliers able to keep up with your demands? Is your organization vulnerable to fluctuations in currency exchange rates? So all of these things you can find out as part of your environmental scan, and this will help you decide what position you're in before you embark upon a change. Now here's an example. I hope you're able to read this text that's here. This example comes from a Business 2000 case study available online. It's an analysis of Tourism Ireland marketing plan, and it's adapted from Marketing the Ireland Experience. And Tourism Ireland conducted a SWOT analysis of tourism in Ireland in 2000, and this is what they came up with. So they've identified several strengths such as the people, landscape, music and food, and access to the island of Ireland. Weaknesses they identified were things like infrastructure, lack of internal access and traffic, lack of a national conference centre, and lack of iconic landmarks. Opportunities, though, that presented themselves were, well, increased access could present opportunities, develop business from Eastern Europe and China, develop a marketing conference market, and finally develop products for over 55s. And finally, in this example, the threats that were identified in this environmental scan were things like changes in consumer behaviour, new European Union accession states, changes in lifestyle, and finally, continued growth in shorter stays. So we can make many conclusions from these, and indeed that case study has done so. So look at your own organisation. Look at other businesses, but in particular with your own, and see, can you identify strengths that your organisation has? What are the weaknesses that you should try to overcome? Look outside your organisation and identify opportunities, and also threats that you must minimise against. If you found this video useful, this and other problem-solving techniques are covered in my new book, An Introduction to Business Systems Analysis, which is about problem-solving techniques and strategies. It's published by the Liffey Press and available at Amazon. Thank you for your attention. I hope you found this video useful.